I fell to the floor. Like, I see these things in films, but there's a kind of news that can come to you that you will not know when you fell to the ground. I fell to the ground in front of the doctor's door, as in from the outer part, and I wept my eyes out. My husband was trying to carry me up. I was like a bag of sand. I was not myself. We got home. I fell into a state of depression. I could not eat for 2 to 3 days. I was on the bed. I did not move anywhere. I did not make food for him. He was even the one making food for me, because he knew I wasn't in a state that I didn't want to see anybody. At that stage, it was as if I shut the whole world out. Even my siblings that I can't do without. At that period, I was like, everybody should be on their own. Having faced that depression, I hear people say I entered depression. They don't want to know what depression really means. If you really know what depression is, you know that your life could be at stake. I used to think of depression as when somebody is actually worried, sad, blah, blah, blah. There's more to it. You can't leave somebody that is in a depressed state alone. I experienced depression for the first time after I left that doctor's office, and I swore never to go to that particular doctor. But the truth is, did he help me? Yes. Did he say the way it is? Yes. Did I like it? No. But that was what I needed at that moment, because I didn't need anybody to try to pet the situation and make it look good to me, because at the end of the day, it is time that is going. But that doctor wanted me to just, he's a Yoruba man. He said he had to say one Yoruba adage. I don't know if I can say it, but all he simply meant was, a woman is like a flower. If they do not stay and blossom for long, like small sun, the flower will die or wither off. So I got what he was trying to say, but I didn't need that harsh approach at the time. But he needed to sink it, because he saw that I was on the, there's nothing wrong in having faith in God and rejecting some things, but he could see that attitude in me, and he needed to sink it into my head that I needed to do something fast. I left the office. I didn't come back to the hospital for months. I was watching so many videos online, on YouTube. A friend of mine who was going through infertility issues at the time also suggested that I joined a group called PCOS Conquerors on WhatsApp, which was when I joined that place, God, you know, when you're in the midst of people that are in the same situation as you are, I might not have had PCOS, but the fact that all of us are actually on the same boat with the same mission, which is actually having our own child, it was like me being in a place where we are all sisters, we are going through the same thing, and you have a place where somebody would hug you and you would feel happy. You hear other people's experience, you feel happy for your own, you guys pray for each other, you guys have diet plans, you have this. You need to see when somebody gets pregnant in that group. You know the way heaven used to rejoice when one soul gives his or her life to Christ. That's the way we used to rejoice in that group. So it's a very, very beautiful place, seriously. And they everybody will come there and say their own experience about any procedure they go through, be it IVF, blah blah blah, and they will tell you the IVF centers that are scam. Hey, the place I went to, they are scam, oh, they are this, oh, they are that, oh, they don't follow procedures. So that aside, I stayed away from everything, drug, all this, drink this one, drink that one, this one will induce period, this one will do that. I went through a lot. Is it injection? Is it drug? Some you drink for a month, some you add this one don't drink this time, do this. Looking back, I don't wish it to my enemy. I don't wish such to my enemy. Seriously, it's a very, very bad experience. So as time went on, I didn't just want to give up I had to go to the hospital. I said one mind said I should go and meet a female gynecologist. That I've been meeting male. The first one I met was a female, but the person who reviewed was a male. So I've been seeing male gynecologists. I'm like, no matter how you're a male gynecologist, you've not been through what a woman has been through. You only read it. That's my own layman explanation. So I want to go to a woman who has gone through what a woman has gone through and who knows how it feels to be in a husband's house, not having a child, not seeing your period, and blah blah blah. So I went to see the head gynecologist. She's a woman and she's Igbo at that, so she could see it from the Igbo perspective that you never marry, you never born. Another thing to born, they will not come with another leg, you never born boy. We are wahala. So I went to meet her. She was calm. She had her approaches. She calms the storm. Then she tries. You see her putting effort. Then she will now prescribe something to you. At that moment, you'll be willing to do whatever she tells you. So what she did was, she's not the kind of person that just casts someone aside and just tell you to go and do IVF. She's going to try her best so that you as a patient will see that she on her own part has tried her own best. Then there's nothing she can do again. Then by the time she tells you what she feels you should do, you would accept it and know that that is your fate. I said, okay, I was willing to try. Anybody I meet, I'm willing to try. That's just it. That's just the approach of anybody trying to look for a child. So she did the whole inducing period thing again. We did the whole testing again. I'm still on 60 whatever, 67 by this time, 68, 67. I don't even want to even talk of progesterone. That one is even out of the radar. Very 0.05 or something. Very bad. So we continued. If you're a gynecologist, in the comments, if you're watching me and you're a doctor or a gynecologist, you should know. If I'm wrong at any point, please put it in the comment section. But I'm just telling you my experience. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you from the patient perspective. So she tried inducing period, checking all the metrics, give me drugs to improve, induce ovulation, blah blah blah. Everything did not work. I did not take in, I did not get pregnant, blah blah blah. My numbers did not go down, wasn't going down anywhere, because they try as much as possible to explain to you that a woman is born with the egg she's going to use for her lifetime. Nothing like the egg replenishes somewhere. No, you are born with the egg you are going to use in your lifetime. So you keep releasing them every month. So the reserve keeps reducing. It does nothing like something will replenish egg somewhere. No, the reserve keep reducing. At the early stage of your life, you release a lot of them, then it keeps reducing. And I'm like, checking the age that I am, it's not supposed to have finished now. So things went on. She tried all she could do. She did everything she could. I had already given up at that stage that she had already put in effort. I don't want to start mentioning everything she did. She put in all the effort, and I'm like, she said she called me to her office. She said, you can see that I have done everything. We have tried everything. We have tried up to 3 cycles because they kept inducing me. We have tried everything. But at this stage, she's a woman. She would advise me that I should go to an IVF center and register so that I can have my own child. Then after having that child, that she's Igbo and she's a woman, she will tell me to go and have my child first. Then I can start trying. So for subsequent pregnancy, I can now put that one in the hands of God. That is the process where you are thinking for God now comes in. But I should carry in mind, I should bear in mind that it's going to be a donor egg. That they are going to use someone else's egg, not mine. I paused for a while. I have no choice. I went home. I did not tell my husband what the lady said. One day my husband came and was like, he's considering IVF. I will not be the one that will say, no, I will not do IVF. I must give it like the Hebrew women. Oh God. I said, okay, that, I was like, the female gynae actually suggested an IVF center to me that is going to be affordable. It's going to, so we went to the popular ones first, e.g. them. I'm not here to call anybody's name. If you need the information, request for it in the comment section and I'll give it to you. We went to the popular ones, as you know the name, popular, expensive. So from there we started visiting other ones. Then we now went to the one she suggested. So the one she suggested was now the one we stuck to and decided to go ahead with. So in the course of trying to get a good IVF center for me, I just thought I should just rule out all the possibilities of me not, the things that are making me not get pregnant. Yes, some say it's not stress, but I haven't looked at the kind of work I was doing, which was banking, and I was in the front line, customer service, and it was giving me stress. And I just wanted to rule that out because I've heard people say, oh, I saw somebody that resigned. After 3 months, she got pregnant. And I'm like, are you sure that's not my fate? Maybe if I resign, I will get pregnant. I was willing to try everything, even if it is risky, even if I will get burnt in the process. I was willing to try. Fast forward to 2021, June 1st, I dropped my paper. And June 30th was my last day at the bank. I resigned from my work. Then I faced my handwork full time. So I faced my cake studio. I started producing my Greek yogurt, doing things at my pace, trying to expand myself. That same year when I resigned, around December, my studio, I never even knew the building was in any court battle with someone else. Later I found out. I didn't even know they had even issued an evacuation notice. The owners were taking off the notice from our gate whenever we go home. So we didn't know. All of a sudden I was called that they are bringing out everything from my studio, my AC, my TV, my fridge, my chillers, my work surface, everything. I ran. They evacuated me from there. So I had to set up at home. So I was now working from home. That one gave me another shock again. That was in December 17th. I went home. I was like, God, what is happening to me? I've resigned my job. Now this one is happening to me again. As in, even before this even happened, at some point, I was so angry with God that I wasn't going to church anymore. I wasn't going to church. This is happening to me. I've resigned my job. This now happened to me again. Considering what I'm going through, I was so angry. I was so angry I wasn't angry that I resigned my job. But the one that pained me most was the fact that I was trying to get myself together, reduce stress, and this kind of stressful thing now happens to me again. I was angry. My infertility issue now made it worse. I wasn't praying anymore. I would sleep, I would not pray. I would wake up, I would not pray. I would not pray anytime to even ask God for anything. I felt I didn't need God because He's so wicked that He could see my pain, He could hear my prayers, and He would not answer me. I didn't know I was being stupid and foolish. Because at the end of the day, I cannot save myself from myself or whatever is wrong with me. So one day my brother sat me down and made me realize that you cannot squeeze God's hand to give you a miracle. You can't squeeze His hand. He's God. He did not create you for Him to work for you. He created you for you to please Him. It doesn't matter how you cry or roll on the ground. God is God. If He's not going to give you, He is not going to give you. I now thought of it. Imagine you created somebody and the person wants you to be working for him. In my mind, I'm like, I just pictured it in my head. the way I will kick you away. So that's the same way. You have to please the father. You staying away from him only makes you stupid. I asked for forgiveness. I prayed to God and I asked for forgiveness, that God, please forgive me. I have been very, very stupid. So after evacuating the place in December, I went to, and mind you, in October, my husband had already paid for IVF treatment, but I was just procrastinating. He had finished paying. He had started paying from June. You pay 2 times. He paid, I think, in June, then he paid the last one in October, and I kept procrastinating. And if you have paid half, you can start getting treatment, but I did not want to go. In October, he paid everything so that it will make me go. I kept telling him that I'm not ready. He will be like, why are you not ready? I'm like, please, it is my body we are using for this process. If the mind is not ready or willing, the whole process will be a failure. Do you want your money to go? He will calm down. So when it got to December, you know December now, when we are crossing over to January, everybody New Year resolution, by January we should have done this. I knew there was no way I could keep making excuses anymore. January 2nd, get away, 2021, we were at their doorstep. Is it 2nd or 3rd? One of the two. We were at their doorstep. We started the whole testing process. They test my husband, they test heaven, they tested. Everything was okay. You know when they test somebody and everything is okay, the HIV, everything is okay. They did everything. Other things are okay. I'm not sick. I don't have anything. I don't have HIV. But you see those parameters, those same things came after me again. 60 something, 0.5 progesterone. I will check it. I'll put it on the screen. So they told me that I will have to do IVF with donor egg. I walked out of the doctor's office. I was still having hope that it could change. I could have a last minute 11th hour miracle. You know that kind of miracle now? I still had hopes that it would change. But when they told me, you know when you got into the goalpost and they are still telling you the same thing, there's no going back. I was like, I left the doctor's office. I left her and my husband there. I walked out. I ran. I was just walking and running. I didn't know where I was going to. The word kept playing in my ear. You know, it was not a reality because I'm at the point where I have to do something. So it wasn't, they've been telling me that, but this one kept ringing in my ears that I'm going to use donor egg. I didn't want donor egg because I don't know how can somebody just sit there in their house and just come to IVF center and donate their egg. People that have that kind of mind, I just felt there must be something wrong with them. Either life is happening to them. I'm not. There are some people that have real life issues. They want to pay their rent. They can't eat. Blah, blah. They have to go to lengths. Some people are just some. Let me sound Nigerian. Some useless mommy water that will just come out of water and come and be donating egg for people. I'm sorry, I'm not here to scare anybody. That was my thoughts as a human. You know, Nigerians who can very, very, very superstitious and very fear. Because I'm wondering which people will come and be donating egg. Why will I stand up and come and donate egg? So they had to explain to me that some people have life issues. They will have to. You see mother bringing their child to come and donate egg because they want to pay rent. So I was like, I don't want someone else's egg. I want my own. My mother gave birth to me. Why would I have issues? Even one of the gynecologists described. I said, you should explain why somebody will be in this situation. He said the same way phones have factory issues, the same way some humans have factory issues, that this could be my factory issue. I'm like, oh, this sounds like a joke, but it's not funny. But at the time, it was not funny. I went on. So they now told me to be on that. They checked my endometrial lining. They said it was too thin, that I would need to be on some certain drugs to thicken the endometrial lining. That was the only. They weren't even going to give me the drug. They said I would have to buy it. That our payment doesn't cover that. So we bought it. The drug name was Premarin. I'm not prescribing this to anybody, I'm just telling my story. So I got it from the pharmacy in Ikeja, and they delivered it to me, Alpha Pharmacy. They told me that's where I'd get it. So I got it. I took it for a month.